So, Alhamdulillah, um, we are gathered today for the few series from the postgraduate channel team. And actually, thank you and welcome for Dr. Abdul Rahim for joining us today. And as you know, this program is organized by the YOSH Foundation, the Youth of Strength and Happiness, which is this a group of volunteers, and we are from the postgraduate student.
Okay,
Yes,
all right.
we are focused on the youth development and also the academic excellence. So that's why we arrange a few workshop and talk. It is actually since during the yearly MCO and continue until today.
Ah, all right, interesting.
All right. Okay. So okay, maybe without further ado, I will invite Dr. Ibrahim so to continue with our slot today, and maybe you can introduce about a little bit about yourself, inshallah.
Okay, thank you very much. I think I want to have my screen. Okay, wait, something I have to change to spotlight, perhaps. All right, never mind. Can you open the displays of the presentation slide, the first slide, and then I will introduce myself.
Okay.
All right.
The host will be present the slide.
Yeah. Okay, by the way, to everyone, thank you especially for the committee for inviting me to give the trust to me to share my little experience as a night of UPM back then in 2008 and 2009 with my master's in coursework in economics. And of course, there are so many experience that I have gathered during the short period of time, which is only 3 semesters, where I actually worked under Prof. Ghazali as his RA, research assistant, at the same time finishing my my coursework as well as my project papers. Okay, and I'm from, as you know, my name is Dr. Rahim. Maybe some of you already know me from my social media. I'm from UiTM Malacca, and this month is actually the anniversary year for me, servicing 11 years in UiTM. Once I finished my master back then in 2009, after 2 months of break, I worked as a part-time teacher during that 2 months break, and then I got offered as a full-time lecturer in UiTM Malacca on July, which is 11 years. The same month, I entered to UiTM as a lecturer, and today I give a talks about the journeys of masters or PhD. Okay, so of course there are some tips that I would like to share from my experience. I'm doing my PhD after 5 years serving UiTM. Okay, because I already set my goal at that time. I don't want to waste my time, my youth, especially because I finished my master at the age of 24. But I got the job, I start the job at the age of 25 because my birthday is on June. Okay, so basically after 5 years, I begin my I get the scholarship from KPT or ministry, which is maybe the slide is already on or not? Not yet, right? Okay, it's okay. And after that, yeah, alhamdulillah, I received the slap. So I began my PhD at the age of 30, and alhamdulillah again, besides my master program, I also managed to get GOT for my PhD, which is only 3 semesters, which is only 5 semesters, 3.5. And I also managed to convo within the 3 years time given by the ministries in terms of the durations of the scholarship, which is 3 years. So of course, it's not only about strategy that I had done throughout my journey. Of course, this is also a risky from Allah. Actually, there are so many other aspects that will influence our journey as postgraduate students. So I believe that some of you, most of you, maybe perhaps are master students. So yeah, I think the real journey is actually beginning from your master journey, because there are quite a difference in terms of the way you approach the challenges, the yeah, your routine, and then somehow between the degree level and the master level. My experience, okay, my tips, and of course, because we have 2 hour session, they are quite long session here. I expect some question from you, okay, so that you can ask anything about the challenges, the issues of authorship, perhaps between you and supervisor, or the things that you getting stuck with your writing. You don't know how to find the solution when you get stuck, or you feel very lonely, you don't feel spirit high motivation to complete your study. There are so many other things that affect your concentrations on your study. You can ask anything, which is actually about the challenge of being postgraduate, because and remember, all the sharing actually will be within this group, and we will learn. Okay, we all will learn from all the experience that you have deal with. Okay, so I think that's my introduction.
You can see the slide.
Okay, so it's presenting. So I click. No, no, no. Okay.
I already showed the slide. Can you
Yeah.
see the
How? Okay. Okay. Never mind. Since that you said that you already see the slides, so everyone see the slides already. It's okay. I will go through the slide from my handphone. Okay.
okay.
All right. Okay. So yeah, being the lecturer itself, I actually very passionate lecturers. For your informations, during my degree time at Multimedia University, I'm not really an excellent student. But in terms of attitude, I can say myself I'm very proud of it, because I never give up when it comes to study, because I'm just degree life. And actually, during my last semester at MMU, I achieved 3.04. If let's say I didn't get that 3.10 and above for my CGPA during my degree time, of course I will not here as the lecturer in UiTM, because that is the compulsory regulation by JPA. If you want to be a public university lecturer, your degree must be above 3.10 and above. So I'm so glad that I achieved my 3.2 result during my last semester of my degree program. But because my passionate to further study is growing bigger, I asked permission from my family to continue master, and then I got placed in UPM. So I just get a break for about 1 month after I finish my degree, and straight away continue my master degree at UPM, Master Economics. And I bring the passion, the culture of hardworking, the culture of like to a greater result from my master degree, which is 3.71. Okay, and then I see all this is actually developing my self-discipline during my journey as a PhD student, as a master student, even my degree program. It built up my character, being more passionate, being more like to share the knowledge, because we knew that somehow there are people that seek knowledge. Okay, they're hard to find someone that want to share the knowledge, so we can become the one that really love to share the knowledge, whatever that we have. So I bring that culture, I bring that character in myself as a lecturers. So of course, for some of you who already know me, alhamdulillah, within the 11 years being in UiTM, I achieved a lot of successful rewards, because of the character that I have built up upon my my journey as degree and master students. So of course, it will not the hardship that you will face on during your journey will actually build up your character to become a better person or something like that, a better workers in the future. So gladly, I'm waiting for my professor, waiting for my promotion. Alhamdulillah, after 3 years of my PhD, waiting for my promotion for Professor Madia. And of course, this is not achieved all because of myself alone. This is because of the teamwork and so on. So for today, my sharing session is focused on the journeys of the master and PhD. Okay, if you see from the slide, okay, how to survive and excel in your PhD journey, or perhaps master slash your PhD journey. Okay, so I'm Alhamdulillah as a PhD survivor from 2014 until 2017, and I'm from my field of study is economics. I'm doing my specialization is in international economics. For all PhD, all in international economics. Why it is important to have a specific field instead of diversity here? Because in university they are acknowledging more people. They are acknowledging lecturers with specific field of study, because one of the criteria to become the lecturer in the future is that you must have the same field of study. Your master must be similar to your degree, and degree must also similar to your PhD, and then will be much more easier to get not easier, but that is actually fulfilling the one of the criteria to become the university lecturer. Okay, but later on, once you have finished all your programs in your specific studies, then you can pursue additional master in other field that you would like to do, so like MBA or something like that. So at the moment, I hope that everyone here already know your directions in your futures, why you continue your masters, and then in the future, if you want to become the lecturer, of course nowadays we need PhD holder. Even UiTM, okay, they favor more PhD graduates over years. So of course we will take PhD graduate. There will be higher chances for PhD graduate as compared to master graduates. So there's something tips that I would like to share about the career as a lecturer, especially the young ones here. I'm not sure because I don't know which one is the lecturer, which one is the young master student, but I just generalize everyone as a master student, a young one. Okay, all right. So the slide. Okay, here I already give my brief introduction. So the contents of the slides. Okay, next slides. Okay, the contents of the slide. So what is a PhD or master? Something like that. I think this is a similar in terms of the definitions of master and PhD, almost there. And then the preparation as a PhD student, what are the preparation that you need? There's a reason why I set 5 years. After I get the job as a UiTM lecturer, I set 5 years before I continue my PhD. There's a reason behind that. And the reason is actually one of the strategies that I stated in my slides. Okay, but of course, problem. But the challenges will be much more greater for them, especially if they are actually kind of like lack of like research skill a bit here and there, because they are taking master by coursework. They are not taking master of science, which need for you to have more deep knowledge analysis. So when you pursue PhD directly, maybe there will be much more challenges for you, but it is possible because I have few friends around me that has become the lecturer, very young lecturers, finish PhD at the age of 27. Okay, you can dream like that, like you can have a PhD at a very young age and become a lecturer with a stability and so on. So that's the thing. Somehow that is all our some part of it is our motivation to pursue study. But not everyone pursuing master because they want to become academician or PhD. Some because of self-actualization. Okay, so I will briefly explain about that thing later on. And then the journeys as a PhD student, all the hardship I would like to share with you, what the tips that you should know, what are the adventures that you should participate as the postgraduate students, because being a PhD student or master student is not only finishing your writing, your thesis writing, it is more than that. there are so many other things that you should pursue, that you should explore, so that you become more some more experienced, more knowledgeable, and you are becoming more confident about yourself later on when you have finished your studies. Okay, and then the survival as a PhD student is the next part of the slides. Okay, when we talk about survival, is something that everyone have different journey, right? So some face a really tough journey, some very smooth journey, some here and up and down, and so on. There are so many things that might happen to you, your family. So all these are actually somehow the challenges that you have to face, and what kinds of preparation that you have to achievements as a PhD student. That is actually about me. I would like to share a bit about what I have done from my PhD journey and master journey. I mean, maybe focus more on my PhD journey, the 2 year and a half. I finished it within 5 semesters. So what are the things that I have achieved beside uh, finish up my writing, my thesis draft, right? And then the life after PhD. Okay, this is very um, I think doing PhD and finishing PhD is one of the greatest thing in my life, the greatest achievement in my life. And after being a doctorate itself, I become really confident about myself. Last time I had the issues of confidence, self-esteem, but after PhD, most of my friends itself, we are transforming. Okay, if you see some PhD student after they finish the study, then they become more beautiful, they become more handsome. Okay, because they have more time for themselves now. Okay, so because for us, PhD is the most tough thing in our life for the academic things now. So when we finish our PhD, it means that the task, because for us PhD is the most toughest thing that we have to handle throughout the years. So that's why we are transforming into something better after your journey. Okay, I would like to share a bit about that things. Okay, next slide. And you can ask me, you can interrupt me, or you can put the chat box. I will always check the chat box if you want to ask something that come across to your mind. Okay, thank you for everyone who joined this sharing session. There are 26 minus one, which is me, 25. I'm glad to share my experience, and very thankful to communities for your invitation. Okay, so this next slide. Okay, if you see, is my pictures of graduation convocation. Okay, I didn't put my master convocation, which is uh, a few years before this event take place. Of course, during my master years, I'm still single. Okay, I didn't met my wife yet. I in back then in 2011. Okay, my wife is English textile lecturer. Now she is doing PhD right now. So I'm now become actually it's my turn to sacrifice for the family, to help my wife to manage my families. Okay, because I want to give more relax to my wife to focus on her PhD right now. Okay, now back then, if you see when I put the pictures of convocation, actually I would like all of you to dream that this event will be somehow it will be dreams come true for all of you. Okay, sometimes we need some kinds of motivation, like people who are doing PhD, they always dream to wear this burger topi, the bonnets. Okay, we call it burger caps. Okay, because it looks like the round shape. So it becomes somehow a dreams of many of us who pursuing study. So that's why I use the power of visualization when I'm doing my journey, starting from my master itself. And I already said that if I get job first, I will pursue my PhD after 5 years, because I want to gain knowledge first, experience first. Because I know more practice, more somehow more I need to gain more knowledge from expert, to learn more techniques of analysis. Because if I straight away pursue my master to PhD, I don't have that confidence level yet, because we should know ourselves, our strengths, our capability. Okay, so that's why okay, that's why Okay, so that's why by knowing your limits, your strength, and so on, you will know what are the action that you need to do in terms of your directions of your life. Okay, like I say, when like my case, when I start journey, when I start doing my PhD journey, apply for my master of PhD journey, I will start visualizing the convocation, because that is the event that I want to participate. Okay, that's why I'm not agree that for this year the university will do the the e-things, okay, the one that we use the visual. There will be no real conversation, but instead UiTM has proposed one way for the convocation, using the virtual style. I really not really not agree with that, because the convocation have very powerful meaning. It's not only receiving the certificate, okay? It's actually more than that. It's the day that you will remind back, you will recall back all the hardship that you have go through, like 3 years or 2 years or 4 years throughout your PhD journey. So, like myself, I'm very sentimental person. Okay, I cried a bit during my degree journey, because I know the hardship that I have that I have faced throughout my period as a student there. And then during master, yes, I'm not feeling that sad much, but I'm feeling so which they are still healthy. They are coming to my, they are actually attending my convocation for my degree, master, and of course for my PhD. Again, my parents, both my parents, my father and my mother's attending my convocation. But the difference is that my PhD journey, for my PhD convocation, I already have wife and 3 kids. Okay, and they are actually attending. They are actually meeting me after my convocation finish. Okay, because I don't want them to wait long hours outside the convocation hall, right? Because there's so many people. So that's something. Okay, so that's something that I would like you to do. The power of visualization, because it helps to fill up your energy, your motivations, so that you know your direction, why you want to pursue your study. Because that's the event that you want to share the most to your loved one, the memories. Okay, you want to capture the moments with your parents. It become, you bring that memories along your life. Okay, that is somehow we can say for example, you are achieving your degree or you get the PhD. Even you are not academician, you want to enter the industry, but that is also self-actualization. Means that you want to achieve the best. For example, education, you want to achieve PhD. So that's why we need to have a very strong mindset before we want to continue our studies. Okay, so now look into the next slide. What is the meanings of PhD, or what is the meanings of master degree? I call it almost the same, because it is almost similar there, because the difference is just the degrees of the novelty. Okay, the novelty that you seek for your for your master and PhD there's a huge difference. Okay, so this next slide, what is PhD? I would like to define these meanings to all of you. Maybe you can maybe relate to the master program as well. Okay, it is about training yourself to be an independent researcher. That is really important. That's why when I read the meanings of PhD during that time, I was still a degree student. In my life, so I already set my goal to have PhD one day. So that's why I have read this book. I'm not sure what the title of the book, but maybe the definition of the PhD itself, you can check it out from many sources, from even from internet. And most of the definition was stated that it is the platform, is a journey to train yourself to become an independent researcher. Okay, that's why it requires you to have a specific knowledge before you join the journey. So it become easier when you have the specific knowledge. You enter the master program. Okay, for a master, it's okay. If you don't have that specific knowledge, you can begin from at certain stage. Then, okay, you can gain as much knowledge as you can. But for PhD, some of you maybe are very excellent students. You can convert straight away from master to PhD. This is our people said rezeki. Okay, Allah give rezeki differently for everyone. Some have that opportunity to convert their master to PhD, and they can graduate earlier age. Okay, Okay, so never mind. We don't have to compare ourselves with other people because everyone, including us, including ourselves, having our own specific journey. What we can do is to get inspired, okay, to get motivation from other people, to ask other people how they do it, and to blend it and to make it suitable to ourselves. So you don't need to feel stressed when someone else is is more successful than you. Instead, you should change it to the mindset of being happy for them, pray for them, okay? Because we don't want to have that ugly side of our heart, seeing other people having more advantage from us. We cannot compare ourselves to other people. If not, we will become unhappy person. So we should very thankful if whatever we have and find the way how to improve ourselves. That is very important, okay? So when I said training ourselves to become a real independent researcher, that is really, really, really important, which means that the levels of your dependence okay, for master level, yes, because you need more guidance from your lecturers, for your supervisor. But for PhD, I believe that you cannot adopt the same mindset. You have to become more independent. You have to become more aware. You have to know the action that you have done, that you did for that semester. You know the consequences. You cannot blame the supervisor, the things that you have, difficulty that you face. You have to find the solution by your own. Okay, and then you have to learn the analysis that you want to attend to. It means that they are all about yourself. The supervisor is only the person that will guide you, that will help you a bit here and there. And of course, if you need more, they will help you more. Okay, so you cannot expect the supervisor will spoon feed everything when it comes to PhD level. So that's why I take the 5 years time. When I began my career as a bachelor lecturer in 2009, after I finished my master, I already set my mindset to pursue all these training courses. I go for panel data, and I start to write a lot of research paper. And I don't feel shy to send my paper to predatory journal. At that time, 10 years ago, we don't know yet about this term, the predatory, we don't know. Which means, it's still, for my case, it is still peer review, but I have to pay a bit of the fee, like 100 USD. I share with my friends, and then they will check, they will ask for correction and publish. And of course, the journal reputation is not that good because it is non-indexed. But for me, that does not matter because that is all the life experience to become a good researcher, to become a good writer. So I polish myself. I get used with the jargon, the econometric jargon for my stuff for economics, right? There are so many econometric terms. And I get published and more publication. So I publish about 50 paper, about 45 paper. And then during that 5 years, only small amounts of it is published in index journal or impact journal. Wasteful experience because from the journeys of having more courses, learning more from expert, get know to all these people around our country because we have to get know all these experts from around our country. There are so many experts like we have Prof. Dr. Lau for panel, and then I have my friend Dr. Ilya from UM. So we have to seek knowledge from them. We have to attend their courses and so on. So that's why when I polish my research skill, my analysis skill, and then I get the grant FRGS in 2010, okay, as the principal researcher. So from that grant, I introduced my study, a new novelty one. And when I got my scholarship in 2014, I straight away convert my FRGS, modified it, okay, about 40%, and change it into my PhD topics. So you see, that is the reason why I managed to achieve my study within the 2 editions. Because I already get prepared really in terms of my mental, because I get a break for a while. I focus on my job being lecturers, and then I polish myself in terms of my research skill, and then I got a grant. So then I get the scholarship, then I pursue my PhD. So that's why you see there's a strategy behind that. That is not like when some people get GOT because even from zero, from having not having anything. But for my case, I consider myself lucky because I have put all this strategy first, okay, experience, and then when I enter my PhD journey, the supervisor already know me that, Rahim, you are very independent student. I put my trust to you. You can write whatever that you want, that you feel right. We will polish your writing. You see, when she said like that to me as a PhD student, I feel very honored. One, because she trusts me. The second one, when the supervisor trusts your capability, see my records of my publication, and so on and so forth. So you see, there's not much intervention. Some students, some PhD student or master student, they become a problem when the supervisor, because they are not having or lack of knowledge here and there. So there's a lots of discussion going on between the student and the supervisor, which end up that supervisor always suggesting new thing and new thing and new thing, and the student become lost. Okay, so when the supervisor giving too much input of suggesting here and there, if the student can cope, it's okay. But if the student cannot cope, you will lose the focus and you unable to write. Okay, so for me, when the supervisor intervene too much, okay, some of the students will face the difficulty. Okay, this is my experience that I learned from my friend as well. Okay, so that's why when I get these chances of freedom, to have my freedom that going to check my works, polish my work, and will ask here and there to improve my content. So that is actually another huge tip if you want to get GOT. It means that you get supervision but less intervention. I hope you understand about that, which means that you have this freedom because the supervisor have see your talent, see that you are somehow very independent, researcher. Okay, so all right, so and then learn your limits. When I doing my PhD, I already told myself I'm not doing my PhD to solve the country's problem, to introduce a new policy that the ministry will use it for like sustainable development goal, for example, like that. Okay, my target is to reach the novelty, the minimum levels of novelty that we can call it is as a PhD, even for my master, for my projects. So I don't really too ambitious. One, because I know myself, I know my limits. For econometrics, like me, mathematical important because we have to prove the formula, equation, and so on. And I know myself, I'm not good in mathematics. I got A2 during my SPM for Maths Modern, but 70 for Maths. And I do repeat some statistic paper during my degree time, D, and then I got C, and then sometimes I got B. And then from my master program, I got 3.71. There is only one subject that I got B, which is mathematics, advanced mathematics for economics, something like that. I got B or B. So you see, I know that myself, one of the things that I fear the most when I'm doing my PhD or master economics is have to face that with the calculation, heavy calculation. So that's why when I pursue my masters, I try my best, okay? Of course, I got that B. But for my PhD, I don't want to make myself pressured with the proving with all this formulation, new and so on and so forth. So I said, okay, I need to require that certain knowledge only. Okay, that is enough for my PhD level. So that's one thing. I don't want to create additional pressure to myself. And I already my limits. Okay, doctor, I'm so sorry, I'm not good in maths. So for my PhD journey, for my PhD, I will try to limit that proving equation, especially because I'm not really understand how to derive the equation with all these figures and numbers. Okay, I'm not really expert on that, but I try to understand it. Okay, so that's the reason when we bring our PhD, just put the minimum levels of you said as what we call as PhD that you are actually they are you fit to be a doctorate with that levels of knowledge that you can produce. So don't be too ambitious because for me, you can explore all these new techniques, new topics, very new topics with new techniques and so on after your PhD. Then at that time, If you want to become the lecturers after your PhD, or you already become the lecturer, you can venture a lot of research, you can learn more about the analysis, you can figure out about all this hard thing, you can figure that thing you should pursue after PhD. So put your mental relax when you talk about PhD. It's not all about this hardship and so on. Sometimes we can control that. We can control the hardship by setting the levels of our PhD itself, not put it too high. Okay, we should know our capabilities. That's why I'm saying knowing the limit is very important. Okay, at that one stage, I recall this with my wife yesterday because I so afraid of doing my PhD because I know myself, even I already have that 5 years of experience. I up to the point I want to pursue my PhD at very not so well known university in Malaysia. I'm sorry to say the name of the university. At that time, I plan to pursue my PhD in BINUS University because BINUS is one of the private university in Malaysia. It's an entrepreneurship university. There must be certain levels of quality there for the private university, but I feel that the BINUS University is not the research university. Maybe perhaps somehow easier to get PhD. Something that thoughts come cross my mind. You see, like I feel that if I doing my PhD in not so well known university, I'm so sorry to use that word. Maybe the not RD university, for example, so I can get easier PhD, but that is wrong. Okay, nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that. Okay, so uh, so that's why, okay, so putting the limits, knowing the limit is very important strategy, okay, before you doing PhD. Okay, now, there is no perfection. Point number 3, I talk a lot, okay, I'm a very talkative person. So I hope that 2 hours is enough for me to talk all the slides. Okay, when we talk about there's no perfection, yes, all right, don't feel that you will produce a perfect thesis. Even me myself, once I finish my PhD thesis writing, it's already been 3 years. This coming October, this September is actually. Even right now, I still realize that there's a small mistake here and there. Okay, so there's no such thing as producing a perfect thesis. So sometimes students they hold themselves, they feel afraid to send the thesis for Viva, for example, because they sort of feel not enough, feel not confident. Okay, so that's why for me, if you have write the best versions of the thesis, you get the permission from your supervisor, and the supervisor feel that. Um, okay, the supervisor feel that. I'm so sorry. I think I have to close down my Instagram because the post there is a uh, there's a something always came up in my then taking time a bit. I want to load up first. Okay, now continue. Okay, all right. So that's why I'm saying that you just try your best. By getting the approval, I think you should already have that sustain of self-confidence about what you have produced and just wait for the viva. So there's no such thing that producing perfect, which at the end make it holding you for more and more. Okay, so don't do like that. Okay, and then when talk about harmonizations of idea between you and your supervisor, yes, finding the right supervisor is very important. That is one of the most important tips when you want to pursue your master or PhD, to get the best supervisor that can cope in terms of your ideas. They can share their ideas. We can discuss together. They are not much different in terms of the fruits of ideas, something like that. So that's why somehow you need to do a self check about the supervisor that you want to appoint to. Like myself, despite I didn't meet my supervisor at that time. I just checked through the website from the UPM. okay, this is my field, doctor, I introduce myself and so on, and then this is my field, I like to do this, and then I would like to ask this supervisor opinion, and then we have the talk a bit in the telephone, and then when she said that, okay, I think I can supervise you, then I pursue her as my supervisor. So we need to have a supervisor that actually, that somehow we can share our ideas, we can talk friendly. Okay, you see, the journeys of PhD is not about the journeys of between you as supervisor only that periods. It will be lifelong journey. The connection between you and supervisor will be permanent. There will be no end there. Like my case, I still have this WhatsApp group, PhD USM thesis between me and supervisor that maintained in my WhatsApp since I begin my PhD in July 2014 until now, because I keep updating my new achievement as the lecturers. Like somehow last time I update with my supervisor, I'm saying that doctor, please pray for me. I'm waiting for my interview for Professor Madya. And I'm very proud that you have reached another stage for your career. We know that you can do well. You will become somebody in UiTM one day. You are very passionate. So we receive this kind of motivation from our supervisors. Okay, so that's why creating a bonding with your supervisor is also very, very, very good. Okay, so if you get a supervisor that feel like family, that is a bonus. Like in my case, I do feel my supervisor, I do felt that my supervisor as my family members. Okay, especially my second supervisor, Associate Prof. Dr. Abdul Fattah. He invite me to he invite me to come to stay at night at his home because we have the discussion of our progress, my progress of PhD writing from morning until night. Okay, from morning at his office, and then we have break together, we go eat together, and then I stay at his home because last time I do my PhD, I'm from Malacca. I didn't, ride my car to USM. I'm using public transport. I'm using bus. When to all the faculty, I really become a student. I didn't bring my identity as a senior lecturer. I bring myself as a student because that's why because I put myself as a student who seek for knowledge, who eager to seek more knowledge, who want to make friends with all the lecturers there. So I would like to share a bit about that later on. Okay, and then and then we talk about enhancing your positive attitude. Okay, positive attitude is very important. The greatest enemy of your within your study period is yourself. Okay, I'm sure that everyone is fighting laziness. You have to wake up early morning, you have to fight, you have to push yourself to write. Sometimes you manage to write only like 3 lines within 2 hours or 3 hours of sitting in front of laptop. And then sometimes you become very bored with the journal reading, you feel very sleepy, and then you have to go to the library, you have to, a lot of things. And you fight with your laziness, you fight with your, all this. The greatest enemy is yourself. It's yourself. Your bad attitude, the lazy. You sometimes you want to postpone the job. Sometimes you don't want to update your progress with your supervisor. You just make the supervisor waiting for your draft. You didn't have the intention to update weekly what are the progress that you have done in the WhatsApp, or perhaps doing something else like producing a paper. You should do a lot of things, as I said, as a PhD student, not only writing thesis. There are a lot of things that I would like to share to you. What are the things that you need to explore? So that's why you have to really have a very huge spirit, okay, support, and of course yourself, okay. The positive attitude must overwhelm to overcome your negative attitude. We need the negative attitude, of course. We cannot be a positive person all the time. Somehow there's the time that we need to become negative. But when it comes to the PhD journey or master journey, that is the greatest enemy, as I said. Okay, okay. I myself fighting my will feel very, very, very cool and satisfied with whatever that we have achieved. Okay, so at the beginning we feel quite impossible, but later on we feel that wow, I managed to do it. Alhamdulillah. Okay, so that's the thing. Okay, I want that you feel the same thing as me. And then we talk about overcoming your fear and negativity. That's the thing that I have said to you about the university that I want to choose first. I want to choose this not so known university in Malaysia, the private one, because I hope that the PhD journey there will be much more easier, and that is not the case. Okay, and of course I will not get placed there because there's a compulsory rules. If because I'm taking I get the scholarship from KPT, Ministry of Higher Education, so of course they will ask for pursuing at the research university first in Malaysia. Okay, so I choose UPM. I choose USM. Why? Okay, the selection university can affect your GOT journey as well. See, USM is the most easiest for me to achieve the 3 years goal because there is no subject need to be taken. There is no comprehensive exam or resignation like UPM or maybe like UKM. They have to take advanced subject first. Of course, I don't want to face that heavy mathematical calculation, advanced trigonometry and so on, because I know if I learn that subject, they will be temporarily, because in UITM I don't have chance to teach that subject to the university because that subject is not offered in my university. So that's why my focus is finish my PhD within 3 years and no subject, no origination, no comprehensive exam, straight away to the full thesis writing. So that is the SWOT analysis that I have done before I bring my PhD. Okay, I compare UPM, UKM, and USM. USM I practice, right? So then I choose this university, and I'm glad that I choose that university. Okay, and then balance your lifestyle. Okay, you need to be fit. You need to be okay. When talk about fit, I have to tell you honestly, I'm not really taking my care myself. The desire to eat a lot is huge. I become fat. At that time, I was about 80 kilograms, my weight. Now my weight is about 60 kilograms only. You see, at that time, I converted my stress into eating disorder. I eat late at night. I can finish one whole chicken when my wife cook masak merah, something like that. So because I'm so stressed of writing, I eat this whole chicken because I don't know what happened to me at that time. I didn't care much about my lifestyle, but of course I still planning my time so that I can bring my family for holiday and so on, because I got this study leave, right? So again, when we talk about balance, where if you have family, you need to focus on, you have to think about your family as well. It's not about finishing your journey alone. You need to cope with your family needs. Your family also needs some attention from you, and of course they are sacrificing a lot for you. But in terms of yourself, so I lately character, like they are taking care of themselves, they go for fitness, okay, they go for jogging early morning, and I find there's a relationship between fitness and focus, being more focused. Okay, in my case, actually I also changed my lifestyle since last year. Okay, last year my weight is also about 80, and within this 1 year time, after last Raya, okay, until this Raya, I managed to lose 20 kilograms, and I actually rejuvenate myself. I changed my lifestyle. I focus on my fitness, focus on exercising, and my productivity is actually increasing. It's become better. I produce more paper during this PKP time. I already during this 100 days of PKP times, I already published 35 paper. 30 paper is Corpus Index Journal and ERA. So you can imagine how much aggressive I at home doing research. But of course, it's not the job of my own. I do research together with my friend across. So that's why for me, there's no such thing as working in UiTM. You have to work with UiTM only. Your friend is out there. You can collaborate with them all over the country, or even from other countries. Okay, so now it's already 10:49. We're still at this slide definition of PhD. Okay, and then to be and stay relevant based on your acquired knowledge. Okay, so which means that the knowledge must be up to date. Okay, must be coherent with the current issue. Like nowadays, we talk about pandemic. Okay, we talk about sustainable development goal. Okay, something that must be really realistic, something that must be up to date, something that really being hotly debated. So that is the things that you want to that you want to represent from the titles of your PhD. Okay, so then it becomes somehow at that years it becomes somehow yeah, people will look into your studies. Okay, so that is for this slide, which is definitions of PhD. Is actually the literature review, the down there, the summary of literature review. The update is the data collection, the data analysis. Okay, for information, for like my case, I'm using secondary data for my PhD study. So of course, data collection should be done in the first year of study because we have to check everything. The model, the variable must be there. I'm using data secondary from the World Bank and so on. Okay, and then if I'm very lazy, I will convert my when I'm very lazy in terms of doing my writing, I will actually do literature metrics. Okay, the summary versions of literature. I just pick one or two journal and then just because it's just like reporting back, but in the forms of table. That is how I dealt with my laziness, because at least there is something instead of not doing anything. So I actually done all these literature metrics to fill in my laziness time. Okay, because it does not really require you to think much. You just go through the paper, see the more the important point, put it in the table, something like that. I handle my laziness, because despite during the lazy time, I also I want to produce something in terms of writing and so on. Okay. Now, before embarking your journey, okay, this is somehow the summary versions of what I've shared to you just now. Strengthening your fundamental, okay, as I said, writing skill, analysis skill, do the all this paper, do the collaboration, learn more from expert, SPSS, like SWOT analysis for selections of university. I have told you just now, okay, but you're already pursuing your study. So of course, this is the next stage for you if you want to pursue study in other different university. Investigating your potential supervisor. I've used the word investigating because it means that you need to know about your supervisor background. You cannot know just surface that. No, you have to check their CV and so on. Okay, and because the supervisor really play important roles in terms of the GOT of the student or even the graduation of the student itself. Okay, so and then financial preparation and scholarship. Yeah, pursuing study require you to have a lot of not if you don't have not much saving, or maybe you don't have the secured job, and then suddenly you want to pursue study, you have to think a lot. Okay, you have to think. Okay, because this journey acquire you to use a lot of money. Okay, I'm so glad that I got the scholarship, the PhD, because that is the only scholarship that I received in my life. Because previously, I'm not, as I said, I'm not an excellent student, just an average student. But when I received PhD as my scholarship, I really feel grateful to the government, and actually have put myself to do my best as my to show my gratitude to the government that at last I get the scholarship. Actually, I applied for the overseas at that time in 2014. Okay, they have offered a lot of scholarship for the IPTA lecturers, but they have freeze all the application to the overseas. So no one in 2014 that received scholarships like I get a chance to pursue PhD in overseas, including me, because I applied pursuing PhD in Australia. Why? Because at that time I still facing my fear. I facing my fear because I never experienced Viva. Even my master journey, there is no Viva, just submitting my project paper. Okay, that's why I feel so afraid when we talk about PhD journey. Even I have prepared 5 years. So at that times of selection, I always think about, oh, maybe pursuing in Australia, it will be much more safer because there's no need for you to have a Viva. Like that case come across to my mind because I have friends studying there in Australia. But again, everything what we plan is it's just a plan, because at the end, our gods are the one that will destined that they will put the right path to us. So we just have to follow the path given from our gods. Okay, and then mental readiness. Yes, you have to mentally prepared. If you are working plus want to pursue study, you ask yourself first: can you commit that both working life as well as study life? Because study life is very very tiring. Okay, very very tiring. A lot, your brain of course will function 24 hours a day, but this time during your during the journey, you will bring all this like the traumatized things like you have a discussion with supervisor at during the sleep, or maybe you are writing your thesis during sleep. That is the thing that I experienced. Okay, okay, you see how much the impacts of the journey to our brain. So that's why sometimes we need to hold ourselves. We need to take a break. Need to know how to stop for a while, take a break, bring our family to holiday, and then come back with the new fresh ideas and new fresh mind. Okay, so we cannot too much hold ourselves, sit here, write the thesis. We cannot do something like that because we are just human beings. We do have limitation. Okay, and then clear goal and mindset. This is something I think you already know about the goal and mindset. Okay, mindset must be important. Mindset is something about what is the reason why you want to pursue your PhD. Like my case, as I said, self-actualization, and for my career, call me doctor, or yeah, not really lah. Something like the title itself is the rewards, but that is not the main thing lah. Okay, of course we feel a bit. Of course, I cannot say that having the title of doctor is somehow not useful. No, it is actually rewards me in terms of self-esteem. Okay, people calling us doctor, especially they recognize us our specialty and so on. So it improve our self-esteem. Okay, but somehow that is not our ultimate goal. Okay, our ultimate goal is about getting the knowledge, spreading the knowledge, and you should very passionate in spreading the knowledge that you have gained. Okay, because the more knowledge that you spread to the people around you, the more happy they will become. And I experienced this. Okay, I experienced this myself. Okay, um, this last 100 days of PKP. Okay, this is my 36th webinar and that I have participate as a speaker across myself. Because I know myself, I love to share, because by sharing more I feel more happy. Okay, so by sharing more, of course, our God also will give us more. Rezeki can come from not only in the monetary value, they will come from other aspects. So that's why we don't much think about monetary value. Sometimes okay, we think about something else. Maybe Allah will return back with other rezeki, and we'll become more happy because we know that the things that we have can be actually useful for other people to as the guidance and so on. Okay, so I hope that once all of you here to become more somehow that really love to share. That is our task, sharing the knowledge to the people, to the academia world, to the society, and so on. Okay, now journey as a PhD student. The next slide, you see that is actually my draft for my proposal. Okay, this is quite illogic, surprising. I'm doing my proposal defense. When I've submit my proposal, I already finished my data analysis, and everything is clear. I know what are the expected outcome and so on. So I'm actually writing a full proposal, not a draft one. USM is quite unique. As compared to other university, some university they ask for like UiTech itself, they ask for a mini versions of proposal, like only 20 page, 30 page is enough. You can go for proposal defense. Like USM, the mentality is a bit different from my supervisor or even from my school. They were asking you for producing a complete proposal, which means that everything must be solid first, then you submit for proposal, defend. Then the chances for you to get passed is very high at that time. Okay, and the culture of in our school, in the school social science USM, is that we have to make a copy of the proposal to every single lecturer in the school, because they will send this proposal. Read. Some lecturer will attend my proposal defense, some are not, but some actually return back my proposal with all this sketch. They will like ask me to improve here and there. So I received like 10. Actually, there are only 3 reviewers, but I received additional 7. I received additional 7 comments from faculty staff. How to improve my proposal. So when I finished my proposal defense with flying colors, I straight away focus on my explanations of my data analysis. At that time, I already produced a few papers. I have joined all this competition. I will show it to you later on. And within 2 months after my proposal defense, I submit thesis for checking for my supervisor to check, and then wait for another 1 month. And later on, I submit thesis for Viva. So at the end, okay, all right. Okay. All right. So when I finish, when I submit my thesis for Viva, automatically I have gone 1 semester of holiday break, because that is the rule under SAPS line. Once you finish thesis for your Viva, you have to report duty. So a lot of my friends said that I'm quite stupid doing that action, because he said that that is the time for you to get this rest and so on, right? But why? Because it's why you want to waste that 1 semester break of holiday with salary plus with allowance, and you submit your thesis for Viva? Because I said that I want to achieve the greatest things in my life, which is GOT. So that is it. Because you want to pursue GOT within 3 years time, semester 5 you have to submit thesis for Viva. Okay, we have to take at least 1 semester for the procedure, for the examination and so on and so forth. So there is sacrifice that I made. I report duty 1 semester early, not three years, not 6 semester, but only 5 semester break. Okay, so you see that is the proposal that I have produced. A lot of proposal there. Okay, some not written back, never mind. But I received a lot of constructive comment from the faculty members at that time. Clear objective and highly dedicated towards your main objective or your main motive. You know that like there's a huge difference, okay, between a scholarship student and non-scholarship student. Do scholarship student, like my case as a scholarship student, I do receive additional pressure from my university, because there's a lot of consequences if you are not finishing your study. Especially you are a full-time staff. First, you have to return back the scholarship amount 100%. If you pursue at PhD at overseas, 100% you have to return back. Like if you're pursuing your PhD in UK, they spend about 1 million, all allowance on, so you have to return back. You are actually having debt to university for 1 million. Like in Malaysia, I think within like I have about the cost is total about 50k for the fees, for the allowance, plus with my salary within the 2.5 years. So it is almost about 120,000. So you can imagine how much that money, okay, that has been that has. I don't want to. There's no for me. There's no option to fail my PhD. So that's why from the earlier semester, the clear mindset, the clear mindset is very important. You know your limit. You get the good supervisor. You have all this prepared, your strategy and so on. Then you want to pursue that according to the plan. Okay, so because we are so afraid of having failure. Because in my case, if I fail my PhD, I think my future in UiTM will be blank. Unless I redo back my PhD using my own money, then it will be bright again. Okay, if I finish my PhD. If I didn't do my PhD for second time, I will start as being senior lecturer until the rest of my service in UiTM. There will be no Professor Madhya, there will be no professor, there will be no adventures. So I don't want to be like that. So that's why I do feel the pressure, okay, when the UiTM do keep reminding all the sponsors, all the lecturers who receive scholarship. They remind study, what are the all these rules and regulations. So that is additional pressure that I receive. Okay, when I get the email, it is quite. They are actually sending the email like maybe once a month or twice a month, something like that, to remind the lecturers. Okay, so that is actually pressure. But those who study using their own money, if you have the financial stability, then you are actually not bounded with the university, or you have that more release less stress, because if you are not finishing your study, it will not affect your position in university. You can always do the second time and so on and so forth. So there's a difference between having the scholarship and having not having any scholarship. Okay, both have their strength, both have their weakness. Okay, and then respect your supervisor. Be a very good student with a good attitude. Okay, so your supervisor, okay, you have to this is one important thing. I always talk about adab. Uh, I don't know the word adab in English. Ethics, I don't know. It's something about politeness of us being a student towards our lecturers. Okay, so for me, adab is very important. Like my case, the things that I take care during my years as a PhD student is that whenever there's a time, whenever there's a appointment with my supervisor, I always come 1 hour earlier. Okay, 1 hour earlier because I'm using bus from Malacca Central. I use late night bus, and I will reach USM at the earlier morning at 5 o'clock. So I will stay at the mosque there. I will pray. I will bath there, and then after that I will go to the restaurant and so on, and then I straight away go to the supervisor room. And at that time about 7:30, and supervisor come about 8:30, sometimes 8 o'clock. So I always the person that the knowledge from them. Okay, and then of course there's a time I'm quite stubborn student. Okay, there's a time I feel defensive. Okay, when we're having this discussion with my supervisor, I having this defensive attitude. Like I feel that what I'm doing is right, so I try to justify and I try to protect myself too much, and so sometimes even my supervisor have to raise her voice. And at that time, I suddenly become quiet. Okay, I know that my supervisor angry at me. Okay, like Rahim, you have to listen, something like that. So I know that she angry because I'm so defensive. So you see, that's the thing. But we cannot take it into our heart. You see, but I remember this when I finished my convocation and I want to send my copy to my supervisor. There's one day after my convocation, right? So I meet my supervisor. I come to her room. I ask for all blessing from her. I ask for forgiveness. She said that I'm actually one of doing a lot for her, and she also apologized for me because all the raising voice and so on. And I do cry at that time, you see, because as I said, the journey is not like you just do the paper. It is a very emotion driven journey, you see. So you have that bond and connection with supervisor. You really you pray for your supervisor help because you don't want anything happen to your supervisor during your journey. Even until now, okay, they are become very respectful person to us as a student, and we are forever in depth with our supervisor. That's why until now, the collaboration, I'm doing collaboration research with my supervisor. I invite her with my innovation project. She invite me with her grant, internal grant, USM grant. So when I'm going to USM, of course, I don't want to miss to meet her again with my second supervisor. He already retired. Okay, so because I think the relationship is become a family. Okay, it's a become family things. Okay, that is the beauty of only. It's more than that. It's a connection between the feelings, the emotion. There's a time that I even tear out. Okay, because of course, because this journey is pressured. Sometimes you want to release the stress, the things that you feel up, that you have feel up too much in your body. You want to have someone to hear your problem sound, right? So that's why being honest with your supervisor is very important. All the things that you write, all the things that you know, you need to be very honest. You cannot keep anything. You know that, oh, this method is better than this method that you use, but you want to keep secret. You don't want your supervisor to know. Later on, your supervisor might ask you to do this method. No, you cannot do that. You have to be very honest. You have to say, doctor, I come across to this method, but I truly apologize. I really don't know how to use this technique. This is much more advanced technique. My capability is up to this technique only, and this technique is also being this technique that it can be used for Bible purpose. So being honest is very important to your supervisors. Okay, and then as I said, being connected and constantly update your writing progress with your supervisor. You have the WhatsApp group between you and your supervisors. There's a trick behind how to begin the conversation with supervisors. Like my case, I'm not only busy doing my thesis writing, I also busy doing research paper. I extract from my thesis writing or something that related to my teams doing research. Okay, sometimes I also convert my research into innovation, and sometimes there are something other stuff. So usually when I want to begin the conversation with my supervisor, in terms of like when I would like to be ask about how their progress checking my draft, because I'm quite I'm quite somehow I'm quite persons who really eager to ask, doctor, have you checked my I remind them like 2 weeks. Okay, doctor, can you check my draft for 2 weeks? Something like that. Ni muka tak tahu malu lah maksudnya. So this is adult student. Sometimes you can just simply say something that you have cross your mind. Okay, and then of course my supervisor also ask like 1 month because they are very busy. So I understand. But when I want to begin my conversation with my supervisor, sometimes I will state my progress. Okay, Dr. Fatah, okay, both Professor Mada and Doctor. So I said, Dr. Fatah, for this week, this is what I've done. I list out. I read this journal. I make it the literature matrix. I found this one. All the important point. I make it in the short note in the WhatsApp. Weekly progress, because I only meet my supervisor once a month. Okay, so weekly progress is something that I normally do. I don't want the feelings of suddenly it become very quiet between me and supervisor. I feel very afraid of that kind of scenario. Okay, this is the first. This is the week of what I have done. So I list down. Sometimes I will start. I will start taking their heart first. Okay, doctor, I have draft my first paper. Okay, I would like to submit to conference. Maybe you can check first. Okay, the paper. Okay, because we want to produce paper for the supervisors, right? Supervisors are very busy, so we want them to check the final touch from our supervisor. So and then and then they become excited, like, oh, Rahim, thank you, you are inviting us for the paper, you are inviting us for your innovation project. So we do something else to make our supervisor proud. Okay, I entering this competition, and so on and so forth. 3 minutes is competition, and then I entering all this poster competition. I update to them. So all the time I will update to them. So when we having this communication, we don't feel that loss. We feel that everything that we have done throughout the week, we have put it in our side, in our own world. So that's why we need somebody, besides having a good friends of yours or spouse, that you have done throughout the week, list down in your WhatsApp. So the supervisor know, oh, okay, my students are doing this. Maybe the conversation is not that much because they are also busy, but at least they know, oh, Rahim is doing here this for this week and here for this week. So that kind of tips for me, I'm not sure if it's suitable for you or not, but that is me. I'm doing the regular update with my supervisor through the WhatsApp. Okay, and one thing, every time when I submit draft, I never send only the soft copy. I will print it out. I will send the hard copy to my supervisor. Okay. I don't know because as now I become a PhD. I'm supervisor for my 3 PhD students. So and even master students, some of my students, they don't bother sending the hard copy, they're just sending the soft copy. So it's very, very tiring to read the thesis student. I cannot write much on the screen. I really love to have the hard copy version so that I can sometimes the supervisor might not ask, but I think as a student, that's the money that you need to budget. Every draft that you send, please post it to your supervisor, not only the soft copy, the hard copy, because I think maybe I'm orthodox type of person. I really love to write more on the physical paper instead of doing software and check like that, because I'm not used with that yet at that time. Okay, nowadays I already learned because we have this study at home, right? ODL, right? So I have to learn all marking using my computer, right? So yeah, you have to spend that money for the draft. Send the hard copy version every time you send it to them. Okay, so then it will easy for them, especially if your supervisor are old supervisor. Okay, and then okay, and then stay active in writing, publication, joining conference, competition. This is something that that I tell you just now. Okay, you remember this. As a master and PhD student, there's a lots of conference out there in overseas that offer travel grant. Okay, like my case, because I submit my paper, there's a trick. When you find the conference, you have to type something like sponsored conference for postgraduate student, economics. I write something like that in my Yahoo search. And then I go through all this search bar, and then suddenly I find this university holding this conference. They collaborate with World Trade Center of Korea. They sponsor all the flight tickets and on, but the research must be something that related to ASEAN and something like that. So what I'm doing, I do another studies of Korea. I compare with Malaysia, and this Malaysia is something related to my PhD study. So I do a comparison analysis between the two countries. So my paper get accepted, not only one, twice. Okay, sponsorship at the Korea. So I present there with all sponsor given to them, hotel and so on, and I managed to present in front of the World Bank chief economist. My thesis PhD at that time in World Trade Center at Korea. Okay, so you see, I've learned a lot. So and then there's a like a travel grant for PhD economics student across the world. You just need to send your piece of your proposal or your study of your PhD to the conference. They always organize it every year, end of year. They will select only the best. They will sponsor you everything, ticket, flight, hotel. Not only hotel, they put you in the college. Okay, they will provide everything. You just need to just bring the extra pocket money. So you need to learn skill how to find the sponsored conference overseas. And of course, the university itself provide you 2,000 ringgit. USM provide 2,000 ringgit once for your during your study period to sponsor your conference. Okay, USM ada, UPM also do have this allocation. So you need to utilize that money. Okay, so conference and then paper writing, and then yeah, when you attend the conference and then you get best paper award, this will actually fill up your motivation, make your supervisor proud, and yeah, you have to diversify and then check runner up at the school level. Okay, it's a great experience. I entering my I actually joining the 3 minutes certification after sending my thesis for Viva, because that for me is the greatest platform for me to somehow see my understanding of my thesis writing within 5 minutes. How I explain it to the audience from different background. At that time, the competition was held in School of Management. Okay, so I won the second place. Okay, I received good feedback from Professor, all this Ramaya and so on. They are there, and all this community. So it feel back. Okay, and then I even substitute my index publication, my paper. I published 6 paper, 3 or 4 proceeding, and then that is happened before Viva. Okay, and there's some awards. Okay, I changed my research paper that I published in index paper into the innovation in terms of policy, and I won gold medal, 3 gold medal and 2 special award. The I do lots of sharing on this innovation and social science, how we can win the gold and special award. If despite our product is just a paper, a policy. Last time people thought that if you want to join the innovation competition, it must be a tangible product. It must be something that we can see. No, even as policy paper, you can win the gold medal, even you can win the special award. So I do receive all this award before I enter the Viva room, which means that it boosts up all my confidence and so on. Okay, because we have explored ourselves with other things besides thesis writing. Okay, and then I have stayed there. Learn to seek good opportunity as a PhD student. Seeking conference which provide travel fund to you. You have to learn how to find that. Okay. Be innovative and create a new ideas from your thesis by joining the innovation competition. Overcome your fear by joining the 3-minute thesis competition. You have to remember this. One day you might become the supervisor for the master PhD student if you are the lecturer. Of course, if you want to suggest all these how you just suggesting. When you experience first, you can share your knowledge to the students, how to prepare. So that's why that is my mentality. I want to join all this. I want to seek all this travel fund because one day when I become supervisor, I want to ensure that my student also learn all this. And alhamdulillah, I have this PhD student and so on. So one of them will viva in the next coming month, inshallah. I will have my first PhD student, inshallah. Okay. So that's the thing. We are actually transferring our experience to our student. Okay. So that's why when we are being a student, we need to explore that thing. Okay. Now, all right. Before that, there's one tips that I want to share with you. When I first joined, when I first began my PhD journey at USM, the first semester, okay, what I do, okay, at the first month or second month, what I do is that I go from door to door to all the faculty staff member. I knock because we are a matured student. We are a matured student. So they should be we are not just an undergraduate student. We are not really undergraduate student. We already become a postgraduate student. We are should be treated as a matured people. So why we should be so shy? Why should we should be so secretive? At that first phase of your PhD journey, is the time for you to get know with all the stuff. Okay, I bring my proposal. I note down all the doc of the staff of the School of Science. I meet with all these doctors. I ask for the permission. I said that I'm Rahim. I'm a PhD student, a new PhD student here. I'm from UITM. I wish to get a consultation, a very small, a very short consultation from you about my thesis idea. Can you have time spare with me? 10 minutes. Okay. Most of the lecture will allow you to enter their room. They are welcoming, and then I share about my thesis, this is the idea, and I receive this feedback for the lecture. So some of the lecture even become my friends now. And this lecture, you can imagine when I become friend with them during this 5-year semester, one of them become even my internal examiner and even my internal examiner for both Professor Defense and PhD. I always update to him, okay, about my progress, first semester, second semester, third semester, fourth semester, and then he suddenly become appointed as my internal examiner, and as well for my viva. So you can imagine how understand, okay, his idea about my PhD is already there. He know about my progress already. You see, there's the benefits that I receive when I get friends with all the stuff there. But of course, there is no self-interest issue here. I don't publish any paper with this examiner because if not, there will be some issue. I just friend with him. I didn't invite him to his name is Associate Prof. Dr. Chua, I think. And he became an examiner. I'm very glad he became an examiner because I do meet him few times, okay, discussing about my PhD, my writing. He do give idea to me how to improve my content, and suddenly he is appointed as a examiner. So you can imagine the advantage I received there, which means that he understands my writing. Okay, so that's one thing. So you cannot feel shy. Okay, you are a matured student. You should be more friendly. You should make friends with the staff, the academic staff. You should be friendly to the staff there, know them, greet them, and if not, you are wasting your time like 1 and 2 years there, and then you don't have any friends from the lecturer. One day maybe you become the lecturer, you will having again the collaboration together with the lecturers. So of course we want to have this bonding. Like in my case, I become friend to all these lecturers from USM. They are now my friend, my colleague. We are joining research together. Last time I'm the student, now I become of being friendly, okay, and then respectful and something like that, okay. So that is for the tips to become the excellent postgraduate student. It's all based on your own mindset, your action, your behavior, okay. So then it will shape you, okay. Next, survival as PhD student. So let me introduce you. Actually, I having second arrangement for my for my Viva. The first arrangement, what happened is that there's a at that time okay, my external examiner is Professor Dr. Osman from UKM. He is very expert in environmental economics, and he is the one that that promoting GST because he is to the national level. And okay, I'm very afraid of him because he is very somehow very known as strictness and so on. But I just been thinking about the positive thing, focusing on my thesis preparation. And what happened? 3 days, 1 week she got diarrhea and then committed into Pantai Hospital. Okay, and my wife is working, so I take care of my wife. At the 4th day, my second child get affected, diarrhea, and the 3rd day, and then seterusnya, okay, the second one got affected by diarrhea. So both are actually being hold in hospital, and I taking care them. As at the same time, I bring my thesis draft. I read my thesis draft for preparation. Okay, and then because my Viva on Tuesday, I plan to go USM early. Okay, because I want to get prepared because I do rent college in USM. So I went to USM on Saturday, and what the thing happened to me is that I getting the diarrhea for my kids, non-stop toilet, all my fluid is running out from my body, stuck alone at the college at that time it's a semester break. No up there because I'm sitting at the degree levels college at that time. That's the only room available, and then stuck there with not eating and so on. So my friends, the lecturers, he really worried about me. So I called him because I don't have any more talian hayat, okay, because I felt that I might be hospitalized before my Viva. But because I want to get the mental medication, so I asked my friends to bring me to the clinics so that I can have a proper medication. So then the first 2 days, the Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Monday I become better because the medicine is very helpful. And then I having my Viva on Tuesday. When I reach my Viva, I have set everything in my table. They know that I'm getting sick from diarrhea. Alhamdulillah, at that day my diarrhea is gone. Okay, and suddenly the deans come to the inside. All the parents already there. Suddenly the deans come into inside, and she said to me, Rahim, we are your your external examiner. Your external examiner couldn't come to your bypass today, and no one can replace him because his report needs someone that expert in his field. So we have to postpone your Viva. And you can imagine my feeling at that time because I thought that due to that delay, I will not receive GOT. But of course, this is all God's plan. You see, Alhamdulillah, for the second time, okay, the good things is that I'm healthy. After a week, is about 1 month after my first Viva arrangement. My wife is being invited to come together to my room, Viva room, to sit. Even I have my both supervisor coming together, and I having a very peaceful Viva session with all the panel because I have my wife at the back and my supervisor both. I can feel the energy from them to me. Okay, the feelings of confidence and motivation of sharing my findings. Okay, of course I cannot answer all the questions. You do acknowledge your weaknesses, you try to improve, you have tried your best to answer, and then you have tried to answer all the questions, and then yes, you get that doctor title, right? So that's the thing. There's a good things happen for the bad things that that we have come across. So what we call hikmah, we have to believe of hikmah. All right, and then the roles of we are actually we have like 30 minutes a bit more than. Okay, now tips to survive as PhD student: know your limits. Again, I already told you. Okay, you should don't too ambitious. Do something within your capability, something that you can reach the goal. Okay, you don't want to waste your money extending so many semester. Always update your supervisor. Your supervisor need to know your progress and agree with all the things that you have done. They cannot left out. You cannot memandai-mandai in this case, okay? So know your limit is very important. Take a break. Yes, we need a break. It's not the journey that you become a robot. Bersatu dengan alam, okay, mix. Okay, you have to go to find peaceful, inner peaceful, go to see nature, go to swimming and so on. Okay, having the healthy lifestyle, which I think can improve your focus. Okay, role of family, yes, family do play important roles. Okay, they do support us, they sacrifice for us. So that's why now my wife turned, she's first semester, and she's pregnant, child number 4. We have a baby girl this coming September, alhamdulillah. So of course she was having one semester break, but I will play my part as a husband to give her a support. Okay, maybe after this she will do less home job. I will do the rest. Okay, and then the roles of peer. We need to have a lot of peer. Okay, these are tips and tricks. The first year of my PhD, I start to make a new friends, a lot of new friends, especially postgraduate student in my Facebook. I just add randomly from doctorate support group. Oh, this student, he also PhD student. Tak kira he is PhD student, I will add them in my Facebook. So at that time, my Facebook friend is just about 1,000. And then I add a lot of students. I joined the DSE group. I add a lot of PhD students. I do motivated by the post in DSE group. When every time people finish their Viva, they will share their piece of experience, the advices. I will read the journeys of the people. And some will share about the successfulness of their positive plan. So I feel the positive vibe is being spread to me. So I make friends with a lot of PhD students at that time. We are actually encouraging one another. Some we never met. What we you can imagine our relationship is until now. They become the lecturers, and even some of them are already become is already being lectured and are having a study leave, and we have having a bonding. That's why my friends, my research collaboration is across Malaysia. If you see my paper, I'm so proud that my research paper will consist of 5 universities. University in my paper, because I always feel good having a collaboration with my friends across university. So that's why all these friends, they become my true friends now. They become a good friends of mine. Whenever I go to having a seminar or having when I go to UTM, there will be someone message me, want to meet me. If I go to USM, you have to go to UMT, sometimes UNIZA. So they always friend here and there, UNIMAP. It's good to have a lot of friends, especially the friends that having the same journey as you, postgraduate, and then we actually finish together, and then we back to our routine as a lecturer, and we collaborate together, so the bonding continue. Okay, so that is another important tips. You should have more peer positive friends that circle you, that motivated you. You don't have to choose someone that same field of you. Somehow different field also good. We can share our ideas together. Okay, and then the roles of God. This is supposed to be number 1. Of course, the roles of God is the time for you to self-reflect. My case, my study time during my PhD time is that I will start study at 3 o'clock and I will finish study at 7 o'clock in the morning. Okay, 3 morning until 7 morning. Why? Because at 7 morning, my wife have to go to work and I have to take care of my kids, because I didn't send my kids to nursery. My first, second, and third, I got baby PhD, the third one in 2016. My second year of my second year of my PhD journey. So I take care my own baby, spoon feed since 1 month until since after my wife returned back to work after berpantang, right? So I take care the babies at the same time doing my PhD study at home. Because my study, I don't have to go field work, because everything data is in internet. We can find it in the database. So that is my another advantage of doing PhD in secondary data. Okay, but the challenges of me as being a PhD student is that I have to take care my kids. Okay, part one, and this is rezeki Allah give to us, and this is baby PhD for my wife. Okay, because there is the 5 years gap between the third one and the the fourth one. Okay, Tuhan nak bagi kan, cukuplah 2 pasang, 2 lelaki 2 perempuan, alhamdulillah. Okay, so I enjoy the journey. You see, at that time I always update my journey as a father at home doing PhD. I will update the pictures of me bath my children at Sinki. And then there's a pictures of me buayankan anak sambil ada thesis with all this material besides me. So I enjoy just sharing about my life as a student PhD with raising up my kids. Okay, so of course I do have talian hayat. My parents stay at Malacca. So when I want to focus my study, I will rent one or 2 weeks at the USM. I will stay at USM just to focus my study. But all the time I actually at home. Okay, something like that. Okay, so everyone have their own journey. You see, my case at that time, people always looking for a guy doing PhD have to take care of the kids, the small kids. Okay, so because the role is always put by the woman, right, the wife. Okay, but that's it. Never mind, that's the thing. Okay, so my supervisor is the one that the left side, Prof. Dr. Bukata, and then the blue color tudung, Dr. Asmat. Okay, and then the tengah-tengah tu, the Chinese guy, the one that I said I make friend with him. He become my internal examiner for both proposal defense and my PhD, as in BIPA. So all right, achievements as a PhD student. Okay, I think I almost finished. You can see my pictures there. That is, I think, the most memorable pictures that I take before entering the convocation hall. I take a selfie. I think this selfie, I think almost 2,000 likes in my Facebook. So those who follow my journey, they actually kind of sharing their happiness lah. I think they are proud with my journey is finished, right? So I share this profile to I share this picture to my the face of satisfaction. It is from your heart. The journeys of the hardship, okay, that you have faced. Now is the day that you will enrich, that you will put it as the most memorable part of your life, entering the stage to receive the scroll. Okay, so you see my journey. Okay, you see the gambar-gambar there. I received the GOT award, GOT from School Social Science. Okay, now when I received the GOT award, okay, from the School Social Science, I also received the GOT award from the UITM. I received 20,000 research grant. And what happened to me last year, my thesis PhD student, my thesis PhD, actually I'm not stopped up to my, I didn't stop. I keep on producing more paper from my thesis PhD because I want to spread my knowledge. And one of the part of my paper is actually being come across to this conference at Oxford University. So last year, as a panel speaker to share my thesis finding at the Oxford. So but that is not that is a conference that held in the Oxford. But of course there is a lecturer from the Oxford University that joining the conference. Okay, but I feel very obligated, obligated to share my finding across all these professors across the world. Okay, actually that is the best achievement of my PhD journey, which is after PhD, which I can share my finding of my PhD thesis at the Oxford. Okay, so that is one thing. And then I use that money to present other papers, and all the paper published in good journal. Okay, Scopus 1, 2, 2 and something like that. So that's the thing. Okay, and then I received the gold medal, special award for my innovation. I do share a lot of sharing session webinar, how to convert from your thesis into social product, joining the innovation competition. Okay, so this is journey, and then now I'm sharing to the society. I sometimes I do berkumandang di radio to talk about economic. Life after PhD is very rewarding because PhD is a symbol of key of million possibility. Okay, once you have the PhD, okay, besides you are rejuvenate yourself, you become more confident about yourself, you become more positive about yourself, optimistic about your future. If you are become the lecturer, you will not hold yourself. You will always seek opportunity outside. That's me. So that's why I'm being very aggressive in my career. After finishing my PhD study, my career become more and more something that I call I become more adventurous. I got chances to be invited as an invited professor at two universities last year at Airlangga as well as Trakah University, fully sponsored by them. And I do publish, do a lot of research, innovation, and I received the highest award from UiTM, Anugerah Akademik Harapan, for young lecturer below 40 across UiTM seluruh Malaysia. We have about 9,000 lecturers. So Alhamdulillah, I received that award, the greatest achievement for myself, Anugerah Akademik Harapan. Won it. Of course, there are lots of competitors, young lecturer below 40 that very excellent. The one that won it from USM or UPM, I'm not sure. But I never give up, okay? Until now, I keep doing progressing. I keep on being motivated and doing a lot of things, happy doing the jobs that I did every day, and keep on sharing, because by sharing more, you will get more and more from the God will give you more and more. So for me, the life after PhD is really rewarding. You can see your career now, because now I already see my career. So yeah, I set my goal. I already set my goal to apply for VK7 or full professor at the earlier age of 40, 41 or 42. It depends. Because by setting the goal early, we know what we want to do. We know how to, we know our timeline, what we want to do for university, what are the contributions that we want to do. Okay, so that is life after PhD. You can see all the pictures there. I won gold medal for Pencipta for last year, the highest innovation competition in Malaysia, Pencipta. University Trakya from Turkey and from Airlangga. Okay, there's so many things. Okay, and of course, as being the lecturer, working at the branch campus, not the main campus in Shah Alam, there's no problem, because for me, we need to seek the opportunity outside. We cannot just like blaming the system. Oh, I'm just a branch UiTM lecturer. It's hard for me to find master and PhD student. Everyone will go to Shah Alam and Shah Alam. No such thing. We have to find a way by our own. All the things that we get is from ourselves. The first action is from us. The first step. We should seek the opportunity by our own. We don't wait from other people to give the opportunity. So that's me right now, Alhamdulillah. So now I have finished my my sharing non-stop. Okay, I give you guys chance to talk, to ask anything that you want to ask. Alright, dipersilakan.
Okay, all right. Alhamdulillah. Thank you very much, Dr. Rahim. It's just it's a lot of inspiration for us. Okay, so I open for the participant to, if you have any question to ask, maybe, or you can write at the chat.
Do you write book, daughter? Okay. I do wish that one day I will write book. Okay, there's a different meaning. Okay, for the book, there are two dreams that I want to. One book is about my journey itself. I want to write a book about my journey as a PhD student. So it's a simple book, and using layman term, because I want people to know more about all this world of PhD. Okay, but for information, I during this PKP time, I managed to collaborate with one professor from Harvard, producing one book about Malaysia with my friends across Malaysia. One book published under Emerald about economy Malaysia. Is a new update about Malaysia economy, and another book is it's about energy economics. Another at the moment, the books is actually much more focused on my area, economics, international, energy, environmental. So these two books will be published this year later on. I always update in my social media, in my Facebook, when the book release. Okay, thank you for asking the question, Mr. Yusuf. All right, any other question that you want to ask? Tips to remain focused in writing. Okay, so yeah, you see, like my case, when doing the research paper, I always begin with data analysis. Maybe this is different with from some of you, because maybe you are from science and something like that. But in my case, how I motivate myself to write a paper, like I said during the PKP time, I managed to produce 35 papers, right, and publish in ERA Scopus Journal. Why? Because I always start with data analysis. when I have collect the data, okay, this is my advantage. As I said, I can get the data. I got a very kind of good result. When I got the good result, I formed a group of 5 people, and then we managed to and then I assigned the task according to the paper, introduction, literature review, methodology, result discussion, conclusion, and then within two weeks time we compile back and then we do the research. Okay, that is for the research thing when we do the research paper. But when talk about thesis, okay, somehow as I said, uh, yeah, somehow I always have this because I always update with my supervisor weekly what is my progress. So that's why when I have that mentality of updating what I'm doing for a week, so that's why I always target that I achieve 1 page of writing, only 1 page of writing, because I know my limit. Sometimes one day I just write 3 lines only, because sometimes we get stuck, right, writing, right? Sometimes I do trick a bit when I really don't know how to write because I'm so stuck. I just take the content that I think will be useful for the arrangement in my thesis, right? I just copy and paste first, put the highlight color, and then combine with other journals, highlight again, and then I will put notes. Later, I will modify these sentences. So, which means that I have made sure that this is something that I paste first, cut and paste first in my draft, because sometimes we getting stuck. All right, so we put the text first, and then we might do some other section first. Sometimes I jump to literature review. Sometimes I go back to the introduction. Sometimes I do improve my methodology. So whatever it is, I will ensure that there will be at least 1 page a week that I will try to produce. So the cut and pasting is something that I normally do, but of course, we want to avoid the plagiarism, right? So citation is very important, and then there's meeting index, and then even my wife proofread, and then I send someone else to proofread my thesis. So yeah, that's one thing. Okay, what is your advice to those who intend to pursue PhD in the first option? Okay, when you want to pursue your master or PhD, first thing is your supervisor first, not the university. The supervisor come number one. Okay, so because the supervisor will influence your journey a lot. Okay, they are the one that giving you the hardship, or maybe giving you the right things, the easier thing in your life, or maybe they are and we need to have their permission for the permission submissions also. Getting the right supervisor is number one, then the second one will be the university. So of course you have to get know with the supervisor background in terms of their research. You can ask the CV of the supervisor. You can ask the supervisor CV from the email. You can check their papers, and then you can call. You can talk a bit about their papers and your interest. Try to, yeah, yes. And then, as I said, by selecting the supervisor, you feel confident with the supervisor. Okay, having 1 or 2 supervisor, what is the best choice? I think this depends. Okay, for me, I heard that some, okay, like my case, my first supervisor is the young, very senior one, close to retirement age, but he has a lot of knowledge. So it balanced me out. I have one which is young, the second one is the senior one. So even my supervisor said that I want to learn from you, doctor, during our discussion, which means that she also want to learn from the second supervisor how to give the advice to the students on. So we have the chemistry together, all the three together. So having 2 supervisors is actually much more safer. If anything happened to our main supervisor, at least we have the second supervisor to replace. Because having only 1 supervisor, we don't know. We don't know what will happen, right? So there's a case where my friends, okay, the supervisor passed away, and now it become hardship for him to find the replacement and then change another supervisor. So everyone's journey is different, but for me, my suggestion is having 2 supervisors. Make sure that at least one is senior, that having more experience. You don't take both the young lecturer, because you can have both young lecturers on. How do you do the literature part? Do you set limit for each day? As I said, literature part is involving reading. Okay, I have to print all the journals. Okay, you have to spend every week. You have to spend like half hours to find the latest journal in your field. and then put it in your Mendeley desktop, your library, so it will easier for you to check the title of the paper that you want to from the Mendeley desktop. And then you have to make a separation in terms of the subtopic. Okay, like my case, I will print out all my journals, I will do the reading, I will do the literature survey, I will do the literature summary on each file. So I will come cross back to back and then do the writing. So which means that I just not read from the laptop, there must be a physical copy that I need to write it down and then make it filing, put it into a different file according to the theme and something like that. So needed to choose top 10 university in the ranking. Okay, if in the world, yeah, if Malaysia case for the for if you are pursuing PhD outside the country, it must be 50 and above. Okay, and somehow nowadays there is a new rule. The Ministry of Education will allocate you based on their own decision. They want to allocate like 5% in New Zealand, 5% in UK, 5% here and there. So then you have to find university at the country being provided to you. So I mean, that is the rule under the government side. HLP. I heard that this is under government staff. Okay, my friend from government staff. And as for if you tend to pursue PhD, you want to look for outside top 10 and so on. Yeah, it is all depend. As I said, first your supervisor and then your capability. In my case, I never come across to pursue my PhD in US or UK because I know they are very driven towards mathematical proving, maths, and I know my limits. I don't have to pursue in UK or in Australia or in US because I will fail if I pursue there because they have again another for this country they don't have the mentality of GOT, which is 3 years. So that's the reason why a lot of my friends doing PhD in UK, they are still not finishing their study yet, even they already past 5 years, because the supervisor there cannot accept having PhD for 3 years, at least 4 to 5 years for the maturity. So that's why it will involve additional cost because the scholarship will cover only maybe 3.5, and then you have to pay by your own. That is the risiko that you have to face if you pursue under SEPS Life, for example, right? So yeah, we do have some excellent lecturer that finish within 3 years. And risky her, maybe he can finish within 3 years, but majority will not finish in 3 years because the mentality, the mindset in the overseas, especially in the top 10 university, is not about GOT mindset or 3-year thing. No, they will always focus about maturity, the student, and so on. So that's why 4 and 5 years is like compulsory. Okay. Study. Like my case, my passion is because for my family, for the sake of my family, for my kids, my wife. Okay, last time for my, of course, for my parents to make them proud. Okay, Alhamdulillah, when they able to enter my convocation for the third time, my PhD, that is the huge bless from Allah. Okay, give to me because they can witness the successfulness of their kids, right? My brother also Dr. Rahul Rizwan. He's in the field of Mescom, and Alhamdulillah, we proud that we have this. We show this to our parents, and then okay, then when you become the workers, okay, you do this for the university. University has put lots of money to you, give you study leave. Of course, you need to concentrate on your study. You cannot just do half cook like that, right? So that's why the motivation is sometimes from the pressure outside there, even from the close one. Okay, motivation can come from all the people around us. But for us ourselves, yes, we have to know this is for us. And something like that. There are so many terms when we define PhD, but remember this: this like 3-5 year journeys will shape your future for the next 30 years or 50 years. What you will become in the future. So think about the future that you want to achieve. Okay, so try to pursue this hardship with positive attitude. You said that you can overcome this. You said that I will try to solve this. I will try to seek help from my friends. I will not make myself drawn into my own world too much. Remember this. I know PhD is about you and yourself in your own world. You become drawn to the knowledge, right? So don't. You need to seek friend. You need to seek someone to share, to talk to. So that's why please having a balance, and of course to the God itself lah. You have to to share all this feeling to God, right? So yeah, that's the way how to stay motivated. Okay. All right. And then how? Okay. Most international students have their families, yes, in their home countries where be away from them. Okay, I do know few of my friends from USM which they are stay away from the family. Okay, from Nigeria, some from Oman. Okay, this is a sacrifice that you make for your family, right? So I'm sure that I hope that you guys do consistently having all this video call to your family, to your kids. You don't want to miss your kids to grow up, right? Even you are not physically there, okay, because seeing your kids self can motivate you because you are doing this for your family, right? This is sacrifice that you do for your family futures. So that's why I'm saying here, don't ever like 1 week never call them, never video call them. No, don't become irresponsible parents. Okay, you need to have connection, stay close to your family because family is everything. Because once you finish your study, who are the one that will actually will welcome you and will happy for you, your family, your close friends. So yeah, you have to make sure that family come first contact with them, especially those who are staying far from your family. Okay, and all right, what we feel sorry late to move on the what is this? Do the mistakes. What will what feel is already late to move on. You don't okay. Every day is a new day. Don't ever bother about the. But past is important. Past is important. It shape your future, your present and your future. But never bring the negativity to the present time. When you wake up early morning, you say Alhamdulillah, Allah give me another day life for his for my purpose to serve him as humble, right? And then again, what the things you want to achieve, do the small cross line, cross check line, cross something like what you want to achieve in your, yeah, something like that. Every day you want to achieve here, even a small thing. And don't be too much on just about your study as PhD student. Maybe you can put something like giving across you ataupun selling halo to makcik cleaner. Somehow even the small thing, but when you make it, you will feel happy at the end of the day, at the nights. Okay, so always renew yourself. Every day is a new day. The mistakes or that things is just the thing that will make you stronger. So ensure that the day you fill it up with something positive. You do some good things to the other people's. Okay, you greet people's, and then you do some, at least something you must do for your progress. As I said, the most laziness things that I do for my PhD study is doing the literature report in the matrix form. Just go through the paper, highlight the points that I want, just put it in the literature matrix. That's it. Because it does not really involve with the thinking. You just take the point and transfer to the literature matrix. That is the most things that I do if I want to fill up my lazy day. Because the rest we have to think about the wording and so on. So that is we take a time for us to write. Nak conclude tak?
All right. Is there any more question? Okay. So we are already at 12, right?
Yeah. I have another slide. I have another slide. Sorry, I have another slide. I will share it to the organizer. That slide will show you my 5 semester plan. What I did throughout my journey as PhD student. This is another slide. I didn't show it to you now, but I will pass it to the organizer and they will share it to all of you. Okay. This one is much more general sharing, motivation time kinds of sharing. That one is much more technical. What should we do and so on. Okay. I will
Like
share. Yeah.
okay. All right. Okay. So thank you so much for Dr. Rahim
Yeah, welcome,
for
welcome.
sharing. And I
Uh-huh.
think today it's just like a self-reflect to us also because we already apa start our journey in master or PhD, and so I think this sharing maybe we get some self-reflection how to improve and our attitude maybe, and our
Mhm.
self-discipline, and also
Yeah,
in the skill in writing.
yeah,
Alright. Okay, so thank you also for all the participants
yeah.
today. So this weekly sharing, we will organize for the next week, maybe on title of time management. It's about your management, managing time for successful postgraduate journey. InsyaAllah. So
Yeah.
that will be our next sharing for the next week.
All
Okay,
right.
so uh,
Thank you all. I wish the best for all of you. Never give up in your journey. Okay. This is for you. This is for your family. I hope that you enrich the journey and seek help if you need help. Never keep it yourself. Okay. We are here to help you to make your journey success. So don't make it like that is your disadvantage or weaknesses, because everyone face the same thing. Everyone face the same thing. It just a matter of your mental degrees of your mental, how you manage that the problems. Okay, so that's all. Thank you from me. Thank you to the to Cik Nurul Atira for inviting me for WhatsApp me. Very short WhatsApp. We're having this WhatsApp together. I'm very honored to share my piece of experience to all of you, dan semoga bermanfaat lah all the slide that I shared to you. Okay, alright guys. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye. Alright.
alright, okay, Waalaikumsalam. So we end up our sharing today with Umar Furqan and Yusuf.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bye.
Alright, so thank you, Rita.
Alright,
Assalamualaikum.
macam. Salam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.